Well, folks, it was fun while it lasted. It looks like the stock market is finally coming back down to earth, as over the last several days and weeks, the market has continued to decrease and decrease, and now we are officially in a bear market. And all of the gains that were seen in the stock market over the last 2 years have now been wiped out, as we were once at 36,000 and now we're in at 29,000 for the Dow Jones. I'll be covering this and a number of other doom and gloom topics in this video. Fortunately, there's not a lot of good news out there these days. I have to cover these topics as they are current. My name is Brian Barsoon. I upload YouTube content daily. Hit that notification bell if you'd like to be notified when my videos go live. Subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. But just jumping right in here, so starting with the Dow Jones and the stock market, as I mentioned at the top, we're officially in a bear market, which means that the market is now shrinking and less people will be likely to invest. So obviously there's been a lot of sell-off. The market at its peak was around 36,000 about 9 months ago, and now we're at below 30,000, currently at 29,000, and it seems like there's no signs of it to stop. Could even dip below 29,000 as early as tomorrow or by the end of this week. And obviously people are sounding the alarm bells and are worried that we could have a little bit of a crash with the market. I don't know if it'll go all the way down, but it should probably will rebound a little bit because of the Federal Reserve propping it up. But just taking a look at this article here from Forbes, Recession Watch, very concerning signs of serious economic slowdown emerges as stock market collapses. And they seem to go into detail talking about the 10-year Treasury yields, surging more than 10 basis points, and a litany of other factors. And it's not looking good. And this is interesting. A Federal Reserve study in 2018 found every recession in the past 60 years has been preceded by a yield curve inversion. I don't claim to know what that is, but they seem to say that we are witnessing a yield curve inversion now. If you're a stock market trader, you probably know what that is, but it's currently what's going on right now with the yields. So every time that's happened over the last 6 decades, that means a recession is coming. So unless that trend breaks, we're looking at some pretty bad times coming up here later on this year. So I just wanted to lead with that off the top. But the Federal Reserve is trying to combat this by raising interest rates. There's been several points over the last few months here where they've raised interest rates by 75 basis points or 0.75%, if you want to think of it that way. So they're doing this to try to generate some money back into the system, but what it will do at this current state is just cause people to not want to make purchases. If you have credit cards, your interest rates will go up on that. And for example, for housing markets, your interest rates will go up. At the beginning of this year, interest rates were very low, like around 1%. Now they're currently at 6%. And they're going to go up later, either later this month or next month, another 0.75%. So we're going to be approaching 7-8% for interest rates on real estate very, very soon. And that's causing the housing market to shrink as well. Along with the stock market going up, the housing market skyrocketed as well. And now both are concurrently going down. And obviously, as opposed to that, gas prices are going up. So they were up obviously a lot earlier this year. They're up at over $5 a gallon for the national average. Had been dropping for several months in a row, and now is seeing an increase in that. As we get to the fall season and as heating prices will go up, gas prices will go up as well. And obviously with Hurricane Ian on the horizon, there's a lot of effect there. So there'll be a significant short-term spike there for the Southeast United States, but that will probably come back down shortly thereafter. But it could have a rippling effect into the rest of gas prices for the United States. As a lot of offshore drilling sites are in the Gulf of Mexico and in that area where Hurricane Ian is currently going through. It's currently in Cuba, made its way through Cuba, and will be making landfall in Florida in the next 24 to 48 hours. And over 300,000 Floridians have been forced to evacuate. The governor of Florida has declared a state of emergency. So there's a lot of things going on. But just looking here, so pain at the pump continues. Average gas prices rise for a fifth day to $3.71 a gallon after Feds hike interest rates. So they're calling it Bidenflation. It could be called stagflation, in other words. And just going over all the key points I just mentioned there. So it's going to keep going up. These are the average gas prices around the country. Obviously, in the southeast, it's the cheapest, and then in the northeast and midwest, and it's in the middle, and then obviously in California, you have the highest prices. So like California, $5.76 is the average gas price. Meanwhile, Mississippi is currently the lowest with $3.08 a gallon. Now that will be affected. Mississippi, Georgia, and probably parts of Texas as well will be affected by Hurricane Ian, so prices will go up slightly there, and then we'll come back down probably in the next couple of weeks once those refineries come back online. Showing the gas prices as well. So obviously this was during the pandemic, and this was $1.77 when President Biden was elected and went into office. It was around $2.20, and now the average is around $3.60. So we're still way above where it was when President Biden took office. So 99 days it was in decline, apparently, according to this article from the Daily Mail. So I wish I had some better news for you when it comes to gas, but now I have this story from the Daily Mail. If you're not familiar, the Nord Stream pipeline, which goes from St. Petersburg, Russia to Germany, is a main supplier of gas, not only in Europe, but also for the rest of the world. And obviously the war with Ukraine and Russia going on has affected that. They've limited production to about 20% for the pipelines. And now we have this story here that there was an issue that happened a couple of days ago where one of the parts there of the pipeline was had some damage off of Sweden, causing a 3,000-foot wide bubble in the Baltic Sea. And now they're alleging that it was done, there was sabotage, and it was done allegedly by Vladimir Putin in Russia, and that his quote-unquote frogmen were the ones that proposed this attack to spike the prices and then cause Europe and the rest of the world more harm as a result of their allegiance, so to speak, to Ukraine and the war. So obviously it's unconfirmed right now, those reports, but a lot of signs are pointing to that. So I just wanted to cover that story as well. So, and then thinking more internally and home, obviously there's a terrible border crisis going on. With all the illegal immigration going over from the southern border, and fentanyl has been a big problem as well. Now we have a new drug to worry about, and it's actually taking place in Philadelphia, and it's trandope-xylazine accounts for a third of overdose deaths in Philadelphia and causes wounds when injected. So it's like a muscle relaxant that's intended for horses, but now it's being laced into heroin and other drugs. And from there, it's obviously causing significant harm to people in the area. And if you're not familiar, Philadelphia is just terrible right now. These are some of the pictures you can see from Philadelphia. I've seen tons of videos online where some people are just walking through it, and there's just tons of homeless people around, and drug use and this and that, and showing a chart of all the overdose deaths in the U.S. Since November 2019 all the way to December of last year. It's almost gone up by 50% in the last couple of years. And then it shows a breakdown for region as well that you can see there. But not a lot of good things going on in the world today. Constantly reminded of a video by Metric called Speed the Collapse. I feel like I'm living in the song right now because it just talks about how we're ignoring all the problems of the world and we just watch our neighbors' houses collapse and then just look the other way. So it's kind of insane what's happening right now in the world. And I wish I had some more positive news today, but it's a lot of things going on. None of them are good between the hurricane, gas prices, stock market, housing market, all trending downward. Not looking good for the horizon here this coming winter. And so hopefully I can have some good news for you in the future. But that's going to do it for this video. Like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching, and take care.